Hi everyone, it's Lisa here and welcome back to Crochet with Lisa. Today I'm going to show you how I crocheted these pot holders. So these are double thick pot holders. They are crocheted in one big piece and then just sewn together at the end. So they're a pretty easy, simple pattern to follow. I did crochet these with 100% cotton yarn. Most of my cotton yarn I tend to get from these factory mill ends bags. They are 100% cotton and the weight of this yarn is 4. Another yarn that sometimes I use is the Bernat Handicrafter yarn as well, which has a weight of 4. I also used a 5mm crochet hook. These are quick and easy to crochet and can do them in all sorts of different colors. Have this Christmas colored one, and I have the yellow one, and I have white ones. The stitch that these are crocheted in is just a single crochet, but single crochet in back loop only, and so that gives it this nice little ridging. You can see in this one over here, also this white one. I did try the pot holder. You can do it in both loops. So here is an example of putting the single crochet through both loops. It's a little bit of a stiffer finish. And I mean, like, this one is more bendable, I guess, with your hands, so it's up to you. The end product is the same size, just has a little bit of a different look to it. In this video today, I will be crocheting in the back loop only, but if you want to, you can certainly just go through both loops and it will still work out. It'll just have a little bit of a different look. So it's up to you. All right, so you need your cotton yarn, which is a medium weight of 4, your 5mm crochet hook, and also a stitch marker. Something to mark each row as we're crocheting, because we're working in rounds and you definitely need something to see where the beginning and the ending of each round is. Okay, once you have your items, let's get started. Let's start with a slip knot. Now we're going to make a chain of 41. Don't make your chain too tight because we are going to be working in both sides of this chain. If you crochet tight, you can use a larger hook for this chain. So we'll do 41. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll keep going, and after 41 chains, we will meet back here. I have my 41 chains. Now we're going to go to the second chain from the hook. And we're going to turn our chain. So we can see our V's here. We're just going to turn it. And then we can see these back bumps. So the bumps at the back of our chain. We're going to single crochet in each one of these all the way across. I know that cotton yarn sometimes splits a bit. That first one is probably going to be one of the hardest ones to get into. And this is probably the most finicky part of the whole project. So in each back bump, you're going to do a single crochet. So you can look for the V on the front and then just turn your chain and you should be able to see that bump in the back. So single crochet in all of those, and then I'll meet you at the end of this chain. Okay, so I'm just at the end of this chain. I'm just going to turn our work. So I worked along this way, now I'm going to turn and I'm going to work along the other side. You can move that tail to the back of our work. When we turn our work, we can see the V's from our chain. So we worked in the back loop, and this is the V's that were left. So now we're going to work in the back loop of these V's. So if you can see the V right here, we're not going to work in this one, we're just going to work in that back one. So starting with our first one over here, we're going to single crochet in the back loop only. Come to our next V. We're going to single crochet in the back loop only. So continue working along this side of the chain, back loop only, and I'll meet you at the end of this side. Okay, so I'm just getting to the end of this row, and I'm just going to put my single crochet in that last back loop. We are going to continue working in rounds. So over here, this was that first single crochet. Now I'm going to work into the back loop of that one. So we've already done one round. We're working on our second round. I'm going to put a stitch marker in that stitch that I just made. So that is the first stitch for this second round. Just going to single crochet and back loops all the way around. When you get down to the other side, you can see single crochets go all the way around. Just continue in the back loops of all of them. These sides will start to curl, and that's what they're supposed to do. I'll meet you back here at the end of this round just to go over this part again. I'm just finishing my second round, and here is my stitch marker that I placed. So I'm just going to remove it. I'm going to go into the back loop of that single crochet and then replace the stitch marker. We can see that the ends are starting to curl, which is what they should do. And we're just going to keep working until we have completed 20 rounds. So that was 2 rounds that we just completed. You can keep track if you want with a stitch counter. You could put little tally marks on a sheet of paper if you want. Or if you look at your work, you can also see how many rows that you have completed. So this center one is the center of the bottom. So next to that I have 1 row, 2 rows. We'll keep going until we have 20 rows in total. And then we'll meet back here and I will show you how we're going to put this double thick pot holder together. Here I am back and I have my 20 rows finished. So we need to fold this pot holder. So we can see that we have this pouch already formed, but we're going to turn it. I've already folded mine, so it's going to fall that way. So here is our starting chain. This is our corner, so we can just see this line going straight up. That's going to fall down. So here's the starting chain. We've turned this corner, so our work folds in this way. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you can just imagine kind of where that side was. And that is the middle of this side. And we'll just fold that in. So these 2 sides now meet here. We can see where we have our stitch marker. This is going to be kind of in the middle of our pot holder, so we don't need this stitch marker anymore. So I'm just going to remove mine. And I want to continue with, turn it this way. I want to continue with these single crochets all the way over to this corner. This is where we're going to end the crochet part of this project. So just continue single crocheting all the way across to this corner, then we'll meet back when we are over there. So I've continued my single crochets all the way over, and this to me seems to be right there in that corner. Now the next part is optional or not. I'm going to add a little hoop, a little loop to the side. So I'm just going to make a chain of 10. So those are my 10 chains, and I'm going to come back to that same space, and I'm just going to slip stitch in there, right where I began that chain. And now I can fasten off. So I'm going to leave enough yarn for sewing in. This is definitely more than enough yarn here. Probably way too much. Maybe I'll snip some of that off. My yarn needle. So we're just going to sew back and forth, and I'm just going to choose the loop that is on the outside. This one here, I'm going to go under that one, and then I'm going to go to the one right next to it, and again the loop that's on the outside, so I mean furthest away from this middle opening. Just going to go through that one. I'm going to go from this side to that side. So outside loop, outside loop. Going back this direction again, so outside loop, outside loop. Just going to continue sewing all the way down to this very end, to this corner. Then I'll meet you down there. All right, so I'm at the end of this row here, and I made sure that I pulled my string tightly as I was going along, so there are no gaps left in here. Now we have to weave in this end. So I always like to do a knot. So I'll just show you how I do mine. You can do yours whichever way you want. So I pull my needle through, I just leave a little loop. I take my needle and go in that loop 2 times. Just pull that through gently. I'm going to make those little loops on these 2 loops that I just made. I'm going to slide them down carefully so they're touching the work, and then I'll tighten it. Now I'm just going to take my needle and really close to that, not through the middle of it, but right next to it, I'm just going to go in. I might even weave it a little bit right here, and then just push my needle in. Okay, so it can come out over here. Just going to tug on it to make sure that's nice and tight over there. Give this a little tug, snip it. And then it will just bury back in to the inside, so we won't see that. So here we have our little hanging loop, and it's all sewn closed. So our double thick pot holder is finished. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. You found it easy to follow. Please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and you can follow along with some other great projects. So have a great day and happy crocheting.